Uganda is a country in East Central Africa. About the size of Great Britain, Uganda is populated by dozens of ethnic groups. The English language and Christianity help unite these diverse peoples, who come together in the cosmopolitan capital of Kampala, a verdant city whose plan includes dozens of small parks and public gardens and a scenic promenade along the shore of Lake Victoria, Africa's largest freshwater lake. The Swahili language unites the country with its East African neighbors Kenya and Tanzania. Uganda gained its independence on October 9, 1962. Since 1894 she was a British protectorate that was put together from some very organized kingdoms and chieftaincies that inhabited the lake regions of Central Africa. At independence, Dr. Milton Apollo Obat, also leader of the Uganda People's Congress, UPC, became the first Prime Minister and head of the government. Then, in 1986 Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was sworn in as the President of the Republic of Uganda. The arduous task of rebuilding the entire country and its human fabric from scratch began. There are at least 32 languages spoken in Uganda, but English and Swahili, both official languages, and Ganda are the most commonly used. English is the language of education and of government, and, although only a fraction of the populace speaks English well, access to high office, prestige, and economic and political power is almost impossible without an adequate command of that language. Swahili was chosen as another official national language because of its potential for facilitating regional integration, although Ugandan's command of Swahili falls substantially below that of Tanzania, Kenya, and even Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. Uganda's indigenous languages are coextensive with its different ethnic groups. In addition to English, French, and Swahili, Radio Uganda broadcasts in more than 20 indigenous languages including Ala, Ganda, Lubara, Msabaranda, Nyankole, Nile, Soga, and Tizo, Iteso. Most Ugandans can understand several languages. Uganda's religious heritage is tripartite. Indigenous religions, Islam, and Christianity. About 4/5 of the population is Christian, primarily divided between Roman Catholics and Protestants, mostly Anglicans but also including Pentecostals, Seventh-day Adventists, Baptists, and Presbyterians. About 1/8 of the population is Muslim. Most of the remainder practice traditional religions. As in other parts of Africa, Islam and Christianity have been combined with indigenous religions to form various syncretic religious trends. Kampala, the capital, is the largest city. Others include Jinja, Mbale, Masaka, Entebbe, and Gulu, all except for Gulu located in the south. Urban centers have grown because of a rural-urban movement within the south itself as well as a migration from the north to southern towns. During colonial times, the British were not encouraged to settle widely in what was then the Uganda Protectorate, as they were in the settler colony of Kenya, and British and Asian immigrants generally lived in towns. Only gradually did a minority of black urbanites begin to emerge. Since 1986, urban centers in Uganda have been rehabilitated and expanded, especially in the eastern, central, and western portions of the country. In addition, numerous small trading centers have emerged along major routes, serving as important points for trade and access to information. Urban areas often contain large numbers of mainly younger people, usually many more men than women, who have come to town seeking whatever work they can find. Many are engaged in manual labor or service-related jobs such as food preparation, while a good many are jobless or are only occasionally employed. There is also, however, a growing middle class of Ugandans and visible signs of urban progress, such as good housing around the outskirts of towns. Yet, these improvements notwithstanding, since about the mid-1990s there has been a noticeable increase in the number of street children and other impoverished individuals in Kampala. Several agencies have established programs to resettle and educate the children who have no homes or whose families refuse to care for them. There are 35 airports in Uganda. Commercial airlines operate scheduled passenger services out of 4 airports. Uganda has an international airport, Entebbe International Airport, which is located 25 miles, 40 kilometers, southwest of Kampala. In 2017 the airport traffic. Indeed, Uganda embraces many ecosystems, from the tall volcanic mountains of the eastern and western frontiers to the densely forested swamps of the Albert Nile River and the rainforests of the country's central plateau. The land is richly fertile, and Ugandan coffee has become both a mainstay of the agricultural economy and a favorite of connoisseurs around the world. The tropical climate of Uganda is modified by elevation and, locally, by the presence of the lakes. The major air currents are northeasterly and southwesterly. Because of Uganda's equatorial location, there is little variation in the sun's declination at midday, and the length of daylight is nearly always 12 hours. All of these factors, combined with a fairly constant cloud cover, ensure an equable climate throughout the year. Uganda is rich in diversity with different cultures, flora, and fauna as well as geographic features. From the rare mountain gorillas in Bwindi to the source of the Nile in Jinja, there is a lot to see in Uganda. In 1907, Winston Churchill called Uganda the Pearl of Africa. Gifted by nature, Uganda is best known for memorable gorilla and wildlife experiences in different corners of the country. Much as most travelers to Uganda opt for gorilla trekking safaris in Bwindi Impenetrable Forest National Park and Gahinga Gorilla National Park, the Pearl of Africa offers much more. The country is blessed with beautiful sceneries, mountains, rivers, lakes, valleys, hospitable people, birds, forests, and swamps among other attractions. A combination of these makes a complete Uganda safari package meet, satisfy, and exceed every traveler's expectations. Uganda is famous as the premier safari destination in Africa, teeming with abundant wildlife and wetlands, and it's no surprise that safari activities are at the top of every vacationer's must-do list. Tourist attractions consist of sparkling waterfalls, wetlands and rainforests filled with wildlife, and the untouched wilderness of Bwindi, where Batwa tribe still lives without any contact with the rest of the world. But a vacation in Uganda is not complete without making time to visit with local people, explore Uganda's culture and heritage sites, gorilla safaris, and do a little shopping for that just right souvenir to remind you of your perfect Uganda vacation. Soothe and expect your soul to be touched forever with a safari experience, since Uganda is synonymous with wildlife and nature. Here, you'll find the big five: birds, primates, but so much more, myriad species amid dramatic, unspoiled landscapes. From Entebbe Zoo to Seas Islands, a world for marine wildlife, or up north to Kidepo National Park with its nearby endangered culture, a host of smaller game reserves, and Sipi Falls in northeastern Uganda, or down south to wildlife and striking landscapes, or inland fresh lakes with stunning islands or gorge, there's wildlife aplenty not far from Kampala. While Kampala is a busy urban center, a few hours' drive from the city lounge a number of phenomenal wildlife destinations. Guided walking safaris are typically a 3 to 4 hour activity in Queen Elizabeth, Lake Mburo, and Kibeho National Park. This type of safari provides a different, and highly recommended, perspective by moving slowly over the ground. Horseback riding. Lake Mburo National Park is one of the fewest parks that offer horseback riding in Safari Uganda, but for the adventurous, this is an experience not to be missed. Uganda is a land of immense natural beauty with diverse terrain and landscapes, of which Lake Mburo National Park, with a lush emerald paradise of swamps and Precambrian metamorphic rocks, rich savanna grasslands, is undoubtedly living proof of. On horseback, you can truly absorb the magnificence of a park-like unique spectrum of ecosystems that supports an unbelievable variety of birds, plants, and wildlife waiting to be discovered. Lions and leopards are now present mainly in animal preserves and national parks, but they are occasionally seen outside these places. Hippopotamuses and crocodiles inhabit most lakes and rivers, although the latter is not found in Lakes Edward and George. Mountain gorillas, chimpanzees, and small forest elephants appear only in the extreme west. Elephants, buffalo, and the Uganda kob, an antelope, are Uganda is home to a diverse variety of birdlife, including threatened species. Most of the country's national parks provide excellent bird watching opportunities. The country's varied fish life includes njij, a freshwater nest-building species of tilapia, tiger fish, barbels, and Nile perch. Venture further into the park and get much closer to the abounding wildlife. Encounter exciting moments along the game trails as your horseback safari ride brings you upon great herds of buffalo, zebra, elands, and other antelopes. Be assured that this activity is a magical and humbling experience that will touch your soul and remain in your heart for an eternity. The economy of Uganda is basically agricultural, and it occupies some 4/5 of the working population. Uganda's moderate climate is especially congenial to the production of both livestock and crops. It is the land of plenty. It is self-sufficient when it comes to food security year-round. It grows both staple foods and cash crops for both domestic consumption and export purposes. To mention some of the main food products: wheat, barley, maize, millet, various fruits, and vegetables. It produces a huge amount of crops that feed the whole nation and the neighboring countries. Regarding to the cash crops, it produces coffee, sugar, tea, and so on. Plantain especially is harvested in large quantity as it is the main and staple food of the country. It has surplus produce of ginger, avocados, yellow bananas, pineapple, watermelon, several types of beans, peas, cassava, sweet and Irish potatoes. Uganda is well known also in dairy products, especially milk is distributed by milk tanker trucks every morning on the streets of Kampala. Poultry products are also plenty. Meat, chicken, and fish are available in all outlets across the cities of the country. This was a brief overview of Uganda, and it is believed that you have got some insight about Uganda in this short video.